Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Round the World Spitfire, Narrow Escape at Reno Air Race MidAir, and Loon program marks major milestone. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's September 17th, and this is Airborne Unlimited. We rarely get jealous of our fellow aviators, but a recent announcement has definitely inspired us to be green with envy. Seriously, just say the name Spitfire, and you have nearly any pilot's immediate attention, as they consider the iconic aircraft that so many admired and so few have actually flown. And as exciting as the aircraft and its warrior history may be, there is one thing this infamous aircraft has never done: fly around the world. But two adventurous aviators seem intent on changing all that. The two British flyers, Matt Jones and Steve Brooks, intend to leave southern England on a trans-global journey by next fall, in a brightly polished silver Spitfire Mark IX, returning the following Christmas after an adventure that should require some 150 stops in over 30 countries. The team knows the expedition will reunite the Spitfire with the many countries that owe their freedom, at least in part, to this iconic aircraft. The unmistakable sight and sound of this aircraft, once again gracing the skies, aims to inspire future generations, more than 80 years after R.J. Mitchell's timeless design first graced the skies. We'll keep you up to date. This is an adventure we look forward to following. After the break, NATA announces leadership transition.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The NATA Board of Directors has selected Gary Dempsey as its new president. He succeeds Martin H. Hiller, who assumed the role of NATA's president in 2016, after 6 years of service on the association's board of directors. Dempsey will start his duties on October 1st, 2018. Marty stepped in to lead at a critical point for the association and did an outstanding job, said Greg Schmidt, President and CEO of Pentastar Aviation and past board chair of NATA. The U.S. Navy has presented the Distinguished Flying Cross to FA-18 Super Hornet pilot Lieutenant Commander Mike Trimmel, who shot down a Syrian jet in 2017. It was the first air-to-air kill recorded by the U.S. military in 18 years. Lieutenant Commander Trimmel shot down the Syrian Su-22 after it attacked coalition forces near ISIS's de facto capital in June of last year. The NBAA congratulates Association Board Chair General Lloyd Fig Newton, who will receive the 2018 Wright Brothers Memorial Trophy. Newton will accept the award during the Aero Club of Washington's Wright Memorial Dinner on December 14th in Washington, D.C. Awarded annually by NAA, the Wright Brothers Memorial Trophy honors a living American for significant public service of enduring value to aviation in the United States. NASA has completed the final test to qualify Orion's parachute system for flights with astronauts. Over the course of 8 tests at the U.S. Army's Yuma Proving Ground in Arizona, engineers have evaluated the performance of Orion's parachute system during normal landing sequences, as well as several failure scenarios and a variety of potential aerodynamic conditions to ensure astronauts can return safely from deep space missions. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The most recent edition of the Reno Air Races had a little unplanned excitement this weekend, as 2 L-39s tangled during a Friday morning race, damaging both aircraft, but not so much that both aircraft weren't able to return both pilots safely, though the same probably can't be said of their checkbooks. The pilots involved in the mid-air were Race 37 pilot Alexandre Eckmann of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Race 13 pilot Nathan Harnagel of Friendswood, Texas, piloting Reality Czech. The incident took place about 1000 local time during the Jet Heat 2B, not far from Pylon 4, along the 7.9107-mile course. Eckmann's Race 37 landed quickly, while Harnagel pitched up to get some additional altitude and to allow a fellow aircraft to inspect his bird before proceeding for landing and recovery. Eckmann's aircraft appeared to take on some serious damage, with particular issues noted to the right wing, which not only lost much of the tip, but the right aileron along with it. Pieces of the aircraft were observed separating from the wing and apparently struck both the horizontal stabilizer and the vertical fin. Damages to the Harnagel aircraft had not been publicly disseminated. The Reno Air Race Association noted that the jet sustained some damage, but we are happy to report both pilots landed the jet safely. After these messages, Loon program marks major milestone.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight 4-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. Alphabet's Loon has reached what is calling a major milestone after successfully relaying data across some 540 nautical miles between a network of 7 balloons. Loon Head of Engineering Salvatore Candido says that one of the biggest technical challenges for the project is what's known as the backhaul connection, which is the distance that a signal must pass from a ground access point to the first balloon in the network. To overcome the limits of the distance that signal can travel, Loon plays a game of leapfrog with a balloon constellation, with a backhaul signal jumping from one balloon to another. For the experiment, the connection originated from the launch site in Navata to a balloon floating at about 65,000 feet. The data traveled nearly 1,000 kilometers along a network of 6 additional balloons, going from desert to mountains and back again, Candido writes. A few weeks later, we achieved another milestone by successfully sending data over 600 kilometers between 2 balloons, our longest point-to-point link to date. These connections were made using custom-built antennas mounted to the bottom of our communications payload. Their accuracy is equivalent in throwing a balloon 100 meters and landing it in a wastebasket. In this case, however, the wastebasket was in constant motion in the stratosphere. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.